I think that this map, with all the crazy weird shit that goes on, I do think that Habitation Station is going to favor Catz.
Probably.
I
He's
feel.
definitely the player who has the style and the
Yep.
creativity to actually take advantage of the gold
Definitely.
base.
I see him doing 15 hatch at the gold. I feel it coming on. I don't know if he'll actually do it, but that's what I feel like is going
He
to
even
happen.
joked about it in the last cast,
Yeah.
didn't he?
I mean,
That's where you take your natural on this map.
I do it every game. I don't think I'm as good as Catz, but I mean, it's interesting because it's just, as a Protoss player, when you see a Zerg take the gold, what do you do? Like, you kind of want to kill him fast because it sucks, but if he has the gold early on, like, he's going to get that income a little bit earlier. It makes roachling that early a little bit scarier. You could go for a timing attack, but nobody really wants to leave an opponent, fast expand to a gold and just sit on it for a while. I feel like it puts the Protoss in a really awkward position where...
I kind of disagree with killing it fast, though, because you get that big burst of Roachling, and that's where it's really, really strong.
Definitely.
But Roachling falls off pretty quick. Once you have 9 sentries with lots of force fields and 3 immortals, especially on a map like this, because it's a very, very tight map, especially in the area around the gold bases. So I think you just do what would amount to a 2-base immortal push, except you don't actually do the attack unless you catch Zerg being super greedy or something. You use those units to take your own gold base, and then you just go into the late game. Because late game, I feel the gold base... First off, if you take the gold base early on, it mines out, and then, it's no difference at the end of the base, because it's the same amount of resources, it just mines faster.
Sure.
And later on in the game, I think the gold base helps Protoss more, because the Zealot Warpins are worth more in the late game than Roachling production is. Like, Zerg wants to switch into more gas-heavy units, whereas Protoss can continue to use the really mineral-heavy Zealots with the Warp Prisms and whatnot.
Definitely.
So I think you just play more conservatively early on. But you're definitely right. Sure. That's the perception. A lot of Protoss players, they see that, they get intimidated. They're like, I have to deal with this.
And it just doesn't feel right to see an opponent take a gold really early on and just sit there and like leave them have it. It seems,
and I mean, it kind of is. But
you
just
the
have
definite
to think
choices.
it through.
Yeah, definitely. Going for that early pressure. You're never... Zerg can make queens, lings, roaches. There's so much power early on behind this gold that you have to set up some kind of either a mid-game timing or have some kind of plan to survive to the late game. In which case, as you said, the gold doesn't... Because really, the gold is only good for the Zerg in the early mid-game, like you said, with the Roachling. And when you get into the later game, it becomes kind of a non-factor, non-issue.
Yeah. If you really, really want pressure, I think you do it through Stargate play, something Void Ray heavy, because the Void Rays can then allow you to defend a third against Roaches anyway. But I think the safest route is a defensive 2-base immortal kind of build, and then take the third base, take the gold base off of that.
Sure. Do you see Catz transferring a ton of drones so that as soon as this gold base comes up, he can begin mining from it? Puck is sending out the probe. He'll know pretty fast what's going on here, I think.
He probably figured it was going to happen anyway, this Catz.
Yeah.
Although, in that case, you might want to open up with just Forge first, because it would be very hard to defend that base against a cannon rush.
Yeah. True, that's very true. You couldn't pull drones against that. You'd be running them, for miles before they even got there.
Yeah. Although in that situation, Catz probably just cancels it and expands to the other two bases.
Or expands to his gold base. It's Catz,
Yeah. Yeah. I'm surprised he didn't actually just do that. Get it mined out early so Puck can't take it later on in the game. That seems like a very Catz thing to do.
Yeah.
Puck just drops his own expansion response, and he's actually going out with a Stalker, which is smart here. You're going to be able to put some harassment on that base. Not a whole lot he can do about it.
I will expect to see Catz probably doing a 4-queen thing again, or at least getting an extra queen at that gold base. He's got to know there's going to be at least a little bit of early pressure coming on.
Yeah, he has gotten the gas early on, but when you take an exposed base like that, you almost need Speedling. Defending with queens isn't nearly as easy as
definitely.
More unified expansions. No commitment to anything from Puck just yet. Another Stalker coming out, so he's just going to go harass for a bit. And he's hiding a probe, and he's dropping a pylon down at the very bottom of the map. I'm not sure what he's doing with that.
Maybe he just... I'm not even going to try to guess. Never mind. I have no idea.
Some kind of proxy tech. The only thing that makes much sense is proxy DT. Yeah, okay. That's the only thing you would hide down there.
Definitely.
That makes any sense.
Dark Templar would be pretty annoying to deal with. You have 2 entrances to deal with, so you can't just put a spore at the front of your base and hold it off. So I would expect to see a Twilight capsule.
The Twilight, yeah.
Yep, definitely.
So that'll be fun. Proxy DT. DT seems like a very all-in tech, but it's not nearly as much as it used to be. It is less costly. There's some follow-up stuff. Archon builds can be scary afterwards, even if the DTs don't do any damage. Switch into Blink Stalkers. That's something Huck actually likes to do a lot. Just open up with a cheesy DT, try and get lucky, then switch into Blink Stalkers for map control, and just move into a macro game from there.
Sure.
There's control.
And DTs are a nice unit because I don't want to say it's a low commitment because it is a lot of gas if you build 3 DTs early on, but I mean, you do have the chance to instantly close a game out.
It's a low
if
commitment
you kill,
for the amount of damage it can do.
If you take out 14, 15 drones, which is, if it's undetected, it's very possible. Yeah. It's very easy to take out 14, 15
no,
drones.
it's actually a quick blink. What the hell is that?
Okay, I'm not sure what's going on. Proxy blink?
Yeah.
Okay.
I guess. I mean, he's still hiding the information. It's just not very common. I don't remember the last time I've actually seen a straight two-base blink build.
Reminds me of
there's gonna be
Zelnaga Caverns.
Yeah. There's going to be a lot of Roach Blink. Well, I mean, two-base blink just on almost any map used to be really popular.
Sure.
It fell off. I don't think there were any direct nerfs to it. I think it was just sort of getting better at dealing with it. There's going to be an awful lot of Roach Blink.
Yeah, I don't think this is a good. I don't know how I feel about this. Catz feels the DT. He's got a spore in each base going up, and I think he's actually trying to scout for it.
I think he's just checking around in general.
Yeah.
There's no specific tells besides the fact that he didn't see too much in the main.
He might.
Oh, he's gonna see it. Yeah.
It.
No.
Oh my god.
That was like as close as you can get.
Oh man. Oh man. How painful. Wait. No. That sucks.
Poor guy.
He is.
It doesn't make too much of a difference because I think. Well, actually, no. He's droning.
I know. He's taking the third now, getting some drones.
He's putting a Hydra Den up. This could actually be pretty dangerous. He probably assumes it's a tech all in.
Maybe.
Or just tech harassment.
Or something with like Immortals or Stargates.
Yeah, because going straight up to Hydraling.
Hydraling is really good against Blink.
If it gets going, if it gets to it in time.
If you've got like 6 Hydras without the range upgrade and like 12 lanes and it's not. And dealing with Blink Stalker is really, in my opinion, it's all about the first wave that comes.
It's very snowballing.
If you can take out the first wave, if you like start getting Stalker kills early on, you're set. But if the Stalkers are all blinking back and surviving with like 5 HP after the first wave, then...
But Puck's putting up a Robo, and I think he's only on like 4-gate production right now, so this isn't like a heavy committed all-in. And you can't nickel and dime away at it, because Hydraling is going to be very efficient in small numbers with Stalkers. Plus he has all the Kree spread, he can get in and around the force fields with lots of lings.
This is a really strange...
I think it's okay for Catz, as long as he doesn't get caught in bad force fields somewhere. But there's good creep spread in that whole area.
If he force fields off that area and kills the gold, I think that would be
he could just run up into the gold.
He's going to lose the Mothership Core, he's not going to be able to get out! Oh, he lost it, but he still got out. Wow.
That was like split-second timing. I've never seen that happen before since they patched it so that... It used to be if you kill the Mothership Core, it doesn't matter. If the animation starts, it recalls. They patched that. And since then, I've never seen a Mothership Core actually die and the recalls still go off. That
would have been the series right there. That would have been the series.
Yeah, you lose that army, you lose the game.
There's no possible way. Yeah, definitely. Although it's still a really, I don't understand. Typically, when you see somebody go that far out of their way to conceal their tech like that, it's usually indicative of a pretty heavy commitment to that tech path. So to see somebody hide Blink Stalker like that and then not go Blink Stalker like in a really big attack, and then now they're kind of going to Colossus, is a little bit strange.
It is a much smaller commitment. He was only on the 4 gateways. He had follow-up techs. There weren't that many units committed to it, which makes it even more strange that he would actually proxy it. But
sure. It would just suck now. Like, imagine if those Lings had seen that, to lose, you know, a pylon and the Twilight Council for free. It would just be kind of shitty, I think, to not have had anything committed to it at all.
Slows down your upgrades, no charge lots, no. And charge lots are much more important now than they used to be in PvZ, especially if you like to avoid race like Puck does.
Definitely.
Although with the Colossus, it's not that big a deal. But yeah, it's strange he would commit so much to it.
Yeah. The 11-minute Catz Hive coming down.
Of course. So he's gonna
block off.
So he's probably just going straight for a Roach Hydra Viper timing attack.
Possibly.
And
although I
think it's going straight into Colossus, so that could be good.
I think this is a little bit late. I think usually Catz, it's hard to say because this game played out so weird. Usually, for Catz, he likes to get that, if he's going to do that Viper timing attack, he likes to hit it a little bit earlier. But it's definitely still possible with how awkward the early game played out.
He didn't know what was going on. He was probably a little bit intimidated, worried about an all-in.
Sure.
So I think he just delayed it. Because I'm not sure what else he does here with that very quick hive. He doesn't have melee upgrades, obviously. He doesn't have a Spire.
Definitely, and he hasn't started building Stormhost or whatnot yet. I know that the only reason I say that is because I know Catz is super comfortable in the late game. Like, he lives for these really weird, you know, split map, huge fucking armies with all the spellcasters, so... But I guess this attack, he's got a lot of force field here. This could be really scary if Catz isn't ready. Although there aren't any Robo... Does he have one Colossus with the yet? He does have one Colossus, no Thermal Lance yet. But the amount of sentries here...
He's just going to force field out that little area and just sit there and harass it. Because he's going to have Thermal Lance soon. There's no reason to force an attack.
And he does have Blink, so the Stalkers can move back and forth to take out the space. Although at this point, the gold is pretty well mined. Do these start with 1,500 like normal? Yeah.
Yeah.
So he mined over half the base. Almost 2/3.
But even losing it, he's still stuck on 2 bases versus 3.
Definitely. And the gas income
has Colossus.
Yep. And the gas income is important. At this point, I'm actually really surprised not to see Puck just move up, force field it off, and take that base out.
I guess he's worried about getting surrounded or something. I
Maybe.
don't know.
He should just move up and take it
He's
out.
being very indecisive, yeah. Or at least send some stalkers up. With your force fields there, you're not going to get caught, and you can always recall out anyway.
Yeah.
It looks like he wants to go
To the
for the
main?
Yeah.
Yeah. Oh, Catz already has the Vipers out.
You should just recall out now. This is
Yeah,
really
he
dangerous.
waited too long. He definitely could have killed that base, though. He's
just-
going for it now. If the Mothership Core gets yanked, that's going to be a really bad spot. Okay, but he is able to go out.
Smart. Oh, he left some units behind accidentally.
On and oh, 4 sentries, too.
That's pretty big. But
Catz needs to be
doesn't realize
moving.
it.
No!
And back at home, he's actually building a second Twilight Council. He forgot about his
That he
proxy
had.
one.
Oh, boy.
Well, he will lose 1 sentry for the troubles, but...
Did he cancel that Twilight, or did it finish? Oh, it did finish.
yeah.
Okay. Maybe he wants to get Blink. No, never mind. He already has Blink.
Blink and charge at the same time.
Yeah.
I
This
think it's
is-
still only the one
can he-
Colossus? Why is there only 1 Colossus?
I don't think he can hold this off.
He needed force fields on
Yeah.
that tight choke
And he has
area.
no High Templar whatsoever. There is no
He has
answer.
no nothing. He hasn't been producing
If
units.
he would have made the Templar Archives instead of the second Twilight
That's what-
Council,
yeah,
he
he
would have
fought.
had the High Templar necessary to stop this. He could have used feedback.
He still has a lot of stalkers.
Yeah.
This might be possible.
But the Binding Cloud is really obnoxious, although the Hydras aren't doing what they should be doing.
Stalkers just aren't dying at all. The upgrades must
Yeah.
be terrible. So it's like +2 for Protoss, +1 for Zerg, I think.
He's only got +1 attack because he didn't have the Twilight.
Oh,
remember?
yeah.
Although
Well,
Catz
he's
is...
still killing everything somehow
Yeah.
or another. But he's losing a lot in his natural at the same time.
Oh, true.
I'm not sure if he ran the probes away or not. No, he must have
He
ran
must
the
have ran
probes
them.
away,
Only
so
9 probes
Yeah,
left.
that was fine for Puck, because Catz just invested his entire army in that, and he has no backup.
Yeah.
No production, no nothing.
Catz had good Binding Clouds down, but his Hydras in back weren't doing anything. He let himself get split off by force fields, and he just started attacking up here. He is losing these roaches for free, too. Catz actually has to be careful of a counter of his own now, of a counter of Puck's, because if Puck just moves in with all of these Blink Stalkers, although Catz is getting Swarm Host, well, I mean, Swarm Host in small numbers with Blink Stalkers, he could be really mobile with these Stalkers and do a lot of damage if he's...
He has to be careful about blinking, and though he gets blinded, clouded, the observer gets killed.
Yeah, that would... Yeah, true.
Hydraling comes out. But yeah, it looks like Catz is setting up for a Swarm Host Turtle game. He doesn't really have too many other options at this point. He's on
Yep.
equal economy. He just lost a gigantic army, and Vipers become obsolete pretty quickly
Against...
if you're going for the kill. Like, they
Sure.
become defensive units. They
Yeah.
no longer make you do anything. I think he has enough Swarm Hosts now. It's very, very dangerous to attack into that with Stalkers.
Yeah, I maybe would agree. I'd like to see him kill that observer. He should yank the... Oh, he doesn't have the... Oh, he doesn't have the Binding Cloud goes down. He needs an Overseer so that he can yank that observer out. He does have an Overseer. He needs to be really careful with his army. He can't afford to lose much here.
Puck's putting up a second robo. That's really good. He's going to start getting the War Prism production out. Lots of Colossus as well. He should just go take a 4th base right now.
Yep, and he is, which is good.
So he's responding properly. So many Protosses just, they keep trying to kill Swarm Hosts. The proper response is to never ever fight them. Just expand everywhere and play the map control game.
Catz is going to be able to cancel this 4th, which is good. Maybe. Never mind.
The
Maybe
Zealots
not.
will
No.
defend it.
Yep. The Lings are 0-0. 2 O Zealots. They just say hi to each other.
Those are pacifist servants.
They do have... There's too many smart... Puck shouldn't even waste his time trying to
No,
fight into
he
this.
should just go blink up into the main or something
Yep.
if he really wants to be aggressive.
Can you get into the main from here? Do you
Pretty
know?
sure you can. That definitely looks
doable.
blinkable.
I wonder if that's what he's going to try. You can
Looks
take the
like he's
Roach
looking
one out.
for it.
He's got a lot of Overlords here that are going to die.
I think he was just scouting the gold base. He really doesn't want to lose those Stalkers.
Yeah.
Understandably so. So he doesn't want to get caught by a fungal or something.
Sure.
I don't think it's even possible for Catz to have enough units to kill that army right now. He does have to 17 Swarm Hosts though, so this is definitely gonna be a Swarm Host game.
Yep, I'm gonna go grab something to eat. I'll be back in a little bit.
Yeah.
This
Not
is...
gonna commentate it because you won't miss anything.
I'm not gonna lie. I really... Catz, like, this is like Katz's... Like, we've left America and we're, like, in Peru, like, in, like, some crazy Peruvian jungle. Have you ever seen the movie, Apocalyptic or whatever?
Uh-uh.
It's some movie about... There's a bunch of, like... I don't even know, I want to say Indians, like Native Americans that get taken from like some Aztec warriors. And basically the end of the movie comes down to there's one guy that makes it out with his with his people who makes it out alive. And like as he's running back home, all of a sudden like there's some prophecy that speaks into his mind, and he knows like the jungle and the layout of the terrain. He's able to kill like all these people chasing him. And I feel like that's what we've stepped into. We've stepped into like the Aztec Peruvian jungles with Catz. And like this is like where Catz lives. Like I would never ever want to play.
No.
I've BM Catz so hard playing ZVZs that have ended with shit like this, and I just get so mad.
No, if I see people make Swarm host CVC, I just attack and then they can have to win. It's not worth it.
Because
same CVP. I acknowledge that this is the best way to play the matchup, especially in like late game scenarios.
Definitely, but it's
just
not
worth it.
It's not fun for either side. Like even like, and I'll do that jokingly on stream where like if somebody opens up with some bullshit all in and I end up taking a lot of damage, we're like, all right guys, it's Storm host time. Because if you turtle up enough and you're comfortable enough with the army, it's really hard for Protoss to ever win against this kind of an army.
Oh yeah. Especially a lot of the ladder Protosses, they just do a build and they get some wins off.
Yeah,
and they're never going to know how to deal with this.
Definitely.
If you don't know how to deal with it, it doesn't matter how far ahead you are.
Exactly.
You're going to lose eventually.
Yep. And right now, Puck is making all the classic errors of, you know, like I've got 4 Colossus. Units. Yeah, I've got 4 Colossus, so I can probably.
Fight the units.
Nope. You can. Well, unless Catz doesn't redirect these. But you can't. Yeah. No, you can't. You can't do it. You can't fight it. And these are like, this is like the beginning of the end for the Protoss, is when they start to realize, you know, all this money that I just dumped into this army, I probably should have put it towards like a Tempest army, you know, or like crazy shit like that. But
harassment.
Yeah,
prisms and like 12 zealots at a time everywhere.
Definitely.
Mass expansions. A 4th base is not enough. You take a 5th and 6th because there's nothing stopping you.
Yep.
So Zerg has 0 map presence in creep threats. So
exactly. And he is starting to take out. He's moving to the other bases, but the Colossus production needs to stop. Like he just needs to do whatever he can with this army and throw down like 4 Stargates and like get the Mothership Core, the core, not the Corsair. What's the thing? The Revelationer.
Oh, the
Oracle. He needs to get the Oracle. Yeah. The Oracle, the Mothership Core, the Carriers, the Tempest, all that shit, and this needs to stop because he's never going to be able to punch through. I mean, look at this
more
shit.
Colossus. He really wants to try.
Yeah,
but Corruptors are already in production. He's just going to get abducted to death.
It's tempting. You see it as Protoss. You think you can blink into it. You can kill it. You can do it, but you're not. It'll never, ever, 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 ever happen. So many games end with Protoss raging because they lose the shot, and it's infuriating. But I mean, you just can't end it by pushing into it. It'll never work. It'll never happen. Good chain fungos by Catz there. He is able to get one of those High Templar dead, which is always a good feeling. Feedback going down on. Oh, and another really good fungal, and another one.
Wow, he actually lost like 4 Templar through that whole thing.
Yeah.
I don't think he killed a single Infestor.
I think he got one. I think he got one. But I'm not sure. It might have been a feedback that didn't kill it, actually, so I'm not sure.
There was one just whiff feedback, like it didn't have any mana. There was another that got it down to like half health. I didn't see one die, though.
Yeah, so that was a really good trade for Catz. He needs to stop. He's making Tempest.
But he's still making Colossus. Yeah. Colossus with Tempest over them are okay, because then your Tempest just do the Tempest thing, and the Colossus don't let anything get near it.
Having, like, 4 to 5 Colossus is good sitting underneath Tempest, because that way at least you keep your bases clean.
Actually, he has way too many Colossus.
Yeah, he does.
He needs, like, maybe 6.
Maybe 6, yeah. It's good to have enough just to clear the Swarm hosts out, or to clear the Locust so that your bases aren't dying, but beyond that, I mean, like, you're committing too much of your supply to not Tempest.
Yeah, some of those need to be Void Rays, so the Corruptors don't actually.
Or even more. What is this? 3 High Templar per.
More Templar.
Yeah, anything. Well, more of the air units. Maybe not that many High Templar, but yeah.
I don't know. Templar Storm's really good.
Storm is really good.
Storm's pretty good.
But
plus he's still spellcaster heavy feedback. If you just like, if you don't get chain fungal, feedback just kills everything.
Exactly, and you do need the High Templar to deal with the Vipers. You cannot have no High Templar because the Vipers will ruin your world.
He's upgrading Neural Parasite. This is gonna get fun. And by fun, I mean terrible.
Terrible for Puck. Oh man.
Terrible for Puck. He's just playing. We're the ones who have to cast it.
Yeah. This is not Protoss gold base going up. Puck is a player, like, I mean, like, you can talk shit. I'll talk shit on Puck because he fucking all-ins and I get annoying. But one thing Puck can do is he can multitask at least a little bit. I'm surprised not to see him flying a Warp Prism around. There it goes. Finally.
He's been really, really slow on the Warp Prism play. Yeah. But that's the only big critique. His expansions could have been faster.
Sure.
He tried to kill him a bit, but when you're that far ahead early game, it really feels like you should be able to kill him.
Yeah.
So it's understandable to give it a try at least.
Now this is the difference. Hopefully we see the difference here between Kane, and Catz, and that Catz is ready for this Warp Prism rest. You only need, I think you can do it with 3 Hydra if there's nothing in the Warp Prism, maybe even 2, but you can kill it before it can actually finish your Warping. So Catz should spread some Overlords out on the top of the map a little bit to be able to deal with that, but He does have some Hydra set up here, so hopefully he can not die to that.
If there's anyone I would trust to know what they're doing in this situation, it's Catz.
Yeah.
We're in the jungle right now.
In the jungle.
And he's Void Rays. How many Tempests does he have? I think he only has like 3 or 4, and he's already switched into Void Ray production.
I thought he had 3 units.
Only 3. I don't know.
Three's
I
not
think
really
you need
enough
more
to do
than that.
anything. Yeah.
3 is not enough. It's just an annoyance. It doesn't actually start killing stuff.
Yeah, he should actually swap the Colossus for the Void Ray, or the Colossus for the Tempest, like having like 3 Colossus and then like 12 Tempests.
Yeah.
Because that's when Tempests start to get really annoying. Because at 3, it's like you said, it's just an annoyance. Like, okay, fuck, like, stop shooting me. Like, really, like, fuck off. Like, I don't care, you know? But, like, when you got 12, it's like, shoot, he's, like, one-shotting my units now, and now it's getting really annoying, you know? So, kind of surprised not to see more Tempest coming out. He did sack a few Colossus there, but at this point, Colossus don't really matter, or non-issue. He does have the Mothership
He
core
realized he
coming.
had too many.
Or the Mothership, not the Mothership core. These Colossus need to go. They're occupying so much supply.
He's starting to add in more and more Void Rays, which is good, because there's lots of Corruptors out.
If Catz noticed it, he could actually just fly his Corruptors into this army and kill everything.
He actually could, yeah.
There's no Archons, not enough Stalkers,
3 Void Rays.
3 Void Rays. Oh, he is getting some Yanks there.
Missed the feedbacks there, too. The Vipers were all in range.
Up to 6 Void Rays now. 6 or 5? Oh, he just killed one, so 5.
He's really just needs to find a way to do Warp Prism harassment, because that's how you beat this. You end up eating the base from the inside out, because there's nothing at all mobile in Catz's army that deals with Zealots.
Yep, and fighting this army head on, if both players play it perfectly, I feel like it favors the Zerg like 60-40. If both players play it perfectly, and so far Huck hasn't.
Well, if you attack into the static defense, Protoss never ever beats it. Just army versus army.
Yeah, no, yeah, you have to land the Revelations and then snipe from afar with the Tempest while keeping the Mothership core over your army and getting ready to feed back with the High Templar while clearing the Locust with the Cloud. Like, there's a lot of shit.
And the entire time making very sure not to get chain.
Yeah, because
if you do, everything's over.
Yep, one bad Fungal will fuck you. One bad Viper Yank on the Mothership core sets everything back. There's a lot of stuff that can go wrong. So, like I say, it's if both players play perfectly, it favors the Zerg, I feel like 60-40.
Yeah. I love that the Mothership can still be yanked. It just looks so wrong.
Yeah.
I remember the first time seeing that happen.
What? I don't know what that... Puck saw that static D before.
Those were some exploratory DPs.
This is a really bad thing for Catz. Except there's only 4 Zealots. If that would have been like 20 Zealots...
Yeah, he just doesn't have enough free supply to actually make enough Zealots to matter.
If that would have been like 20 Zealots, Catz would have actually been in a lot of trouble here.
And it should have been. Like, that's what's supposed to be happening right now.
You need to dump these Colossus have to go, man.
Yeah.
8 Colossus just aren't doing anything. If 4 of these Colossus were sacked and those would have all been Zealots, that would have been a dead hive. There would have been so much shit, because Catz doesn't have the supply.
Yeah, and then from there you just keep snowballing, because you're not losing units, so you never get to make anything.
Yep.
And you can't put up enough Spine Crawlers to actually deal with 3/3 Zealots. But Catz is now more and more aware of the threat, putting up more static defense, and that's the key to stopping the harassment. You prevent it from ever starting.
Definitely.
And if you get everything all nice and defended, there's just almost nothing Protoss can do.
Yep.
Besides getting like the boss air death ball, and even then, if there's enough Spore Crawlers and static defense, it's pretty tough. But if you have any ground units at all, you don't end up winning the fight.
So now the siege begins.
Yeah. They have split the map. Everyone has all of their expansions. Catz has a bit of that gold base left. If he gets real desperate for money.
But I don't think he's going to be.
No,
he's already mining.
He has free units, why would he?
Yeah, and he's already mining the other 2, so... I'd be surprised to see him ever tap into these reserves.
And now the Abducts begin.
Now the Abducts.
That's a lot of Infestor mana.
Yep. Yeah, at this point,
oh, he's fumbling the mineral.
Yeah, nice.
That's not good.
Worker kills.
Freeing up supply, actually.
Yeah, I mean, worker kills at this point. It sucks, kind of, but it's almost...
He's already got a 4K bank. He's running off 2 or 3 bases plus a gold.
I'd be surprised to see Puck replace any probes. Nice chain yanks.
Kind of just getting rid of the Colossus for him.
Yeah.
Not that big a deal.
Yeah.
He now has some free supply, but I think he lost some Warp Prism already. Not sure if he actually has any ability to warp in.
Which is really, really, really important. Puck is grossly underestimating the importance of being able to do that harass with the Warp Prism.
It's really weird, because in normal games he's very, very active with
Warp
Prism harassment.
Yeah,
that's like one of the features of his play.
Definitely, that's what I was saying earlier. Like, shit talk him all you want, and like I said, I always would, but Warp Prism is something that Puck usually does pretty well, so I'm really surprised to see And again, this is stuff that you don't really think about. It's so easy to look at these games and be like, God, what an idiot. You know, like me and Catz did it a little bit earlier to Kane, like, or to Huck. Like, why wouldn't you do that? Or why wouldn't you do that? Why wouldn't you do that? But whenever you're thrown into these situations where you haven't been in them very often, it gets pretty easy to forget stuff that you know. You know, like, it's easy to look at the replay and like, well, I should have did Warp Prism, you know? Mm-hmm. But when you've got, like, if you look at the map from Puck's point of view, and there was like all this Zerg territory with like the Swarm hosts and the Infestors and the Corruptors could be anywhere, like you start to forget things like I should be harassing with a Warp Prism because you're so concerned. You're playing where you have to actively think about everything that you're doing because nothing comes reflexively to you. So I kind of understand, I guess, Huck, or I guess maybe that's why Huck is being a little bit too nervous to get the Warp Prism going on. But if he wants to win this game, he really needs to do it because trying to punch through like this is just not going to work. It's not going to happen.
You have to wonder how much he actually practices this situation too, because as we were joking about, but no one actually likes playing this.
Exactly, and games don't even get this far. Like I can play this style, but I would say like maybe 1 out of like 25 maybe of my ZVPs ever get to this point. Catz says a lot of his get to it, and I mean it's fucking Catz, so I can believe that. Oh, these fungals going down are hurting the void rate count really bad. But I mean, like, how many times do you often get to practice this?
Yeah, especially with a player like Puck, because against most people on ladder, he can just end it when he wants to. He plays a very aggressive style of Protoss, and he does it better than most.
Definitely.
Most ladders wouldn't actually be able to get him to a Swarm Host Turtle point,
Yep.
much less drag it out this long and play it this well.
And we did see the error there of the Protoss thinking like, fuck it, I'm going to attack into it. Nope, can't do it.
And he still only has 3 Stargates, so he can't actually, like, he never built the infrastructure to actually resupply, so he has to be really, really careful.
Because when he loses these units, you're going to see it's going to take him a few minutes to get back up to that 200 out of 200, you know?
Whereas Catz could remax almost instantly. Catz actually doesn't have much of a bank at all, though.
Yeah, that's very true.
Mineral-wise.
Only
he only has 26
harvesters.
harvesters. That would be why.
And I mean, and Puck has only killed 2. So Huck is only, well, actually, Catz has made a lot of harvesters because he's also
he's just turning them all into.
It seems kind of silly. However, oh shit. How do you bring up army supply? There's a way to do it. Army supply. There you go. When you start to see the difference in army supply, you realize why having a low worker count can actually is actually beneficial in these late games because Catz only having 26 harvesters opens up 174 supply for him to play with, whereas Puck, although Puck is down to 40 harvesters now. I don't know. In these really big battles, you kind of want to free up as much supply as possible for units.
Oh, absolutely. As long as you have a sustainable army, and I mean,
when you play like
everything
Catz,
is energy based and free unit based, so it's kind of just prolonging the resources on his side of the map and making sure his army is as big as possible.
Definitely.
As long as he doesn't get stupid and like walk his swarm host up and get wiped, which no one's ever going to do with this style. It's the antithesis of what you're trying to do.
Definitely.
There's no real need for a big bank. I mean, the only thing that actually causes problems is if you start harassing everywhere and the Zerg bases start dying, but Puck's not doing that.
Did he just make these warp gates?
Why would you make gateways?
He's got so many warp...
Why?
Can you see a building count?
Yeah, you can somehow, but I don't know what the hotkey is for it.
He has so many warp gates.
That's the last thing you want to make. You do not want warp gate units against...
Holy shit!
How many is that? That's 16, 20,
8,
21.
16, 20, yeah. 21 warp, except you forgot to turn 1 into a warp gate, what a noob. I mean, it would be good if he was harassing with a warp prism, but like that's like 2 warpins and his whole bank is gone. That's a lot of resources.
Oh
no!
What? Well, Catz is feeling generous.
I guess.
Donating some Vipers.
Just flying in for free. That was definitely a misclick.
Was that all of his Vipers? That was all of his Vipers.
Was
he has no abducts available for a while.
If that's true, that's really bad. Oh, he has 5 Vipers coming. What's he doing?
He's throwing away more and more stuff. Oh, he got a big chain fungal, but...
Is it worth it? I don't know. That was kind of uncharacteristic. I guess he didn't lose that many effects there.
He's just taking off shields. He hasn't done any actual damage yet.
Yeah.
And those are angry void rays.
Those are angry void rays. If he can keep landing these fungals, though, if he can start...
He's losing more and more stuff, and he actually hasn't killed anything.
Yeah.
This is getting really dangerous. And we have 20 gateway reinforcements to back it up, so...
That's very true. Although the Swarmhouse... Is he going to start losing Swarmhouse? Did he lose
If he loses Swarmhouse, he loses the game.
Where are all of his Swarmhouse at? He has 19. Why are only a few of them here?
Some of them are probably on the bottom of the map, but I'm not sure.
Oh, he's got another group. I wonder if he knows. Oh!
Wow, everything died.
Everything is dying.
That was apparently less scary than it seemed for Catz.
I get, yeah, there's like a turning point. Oh man, all the stalkers. That I don't know how I feel about that. Oh man, Catz is
I feel really bad about that.
I don't think he wants to lose all of these corruptors. Is he underestimating how many stalkers there are? Maybe he just doesn't give a fuck.
I think he's just overestimating how important the air units were.
He has to be careful because we just earlier talked about how Katz's style is good and the low drone is good, but that's because he plans on never losing his army. But he just lost a lot of units. Yeah.
And there's still a 2K bank with a lot of gateways. Is he ever actually going to be able to kill those stalkers? They can just kind of run around and avoid the
it's really fucking annoying to do it. Although Catz is trying to apply pressure to the gold base.
And those swarm hosts are undefended. If you actually blunk on those.
Yeah, it would be really bad. And that's not even burrow, that's spore crawler.
I don't think he has an observer in the area, though. That's the only thing keeping him alive.
The chain fungals don't... Does he have burrow? I don't think Catz has burrow. He must not. Does he? I'm surprised I haven't seen him burrowing the... The chain fungling on stalkers is something that worked really well in Wings of Liberty, but it doesn't do as much damage now. It takes a lot of fungals to kill a stalker.
Yeah, if you don't have backup DPS, they don't really die from it. They just kind of sit there for a while. I don't know. He's getting picked away at, though, and there's just static defense everywhere he goes.
Yeah.
So many spy crawlers on the map.
The stalkers were really good, but I think Puck is starting to realize how committed Catz is to the jungle. Because he's deep in it. How do you get out of this now?
You don't.
Oh,
there's literally spy crawlers everywhere.
He went way too deep here. That was almost like a really ballsy sick transition. I guess as a way to test, like, all right, Catz, like, how like committed to this bullshit are you actually? And he just found out that he is very committed to this bullshit.
It's Catz.
Yeah,
You should have known that.
Yeah, I feel kind of bad now because Puck probably didn't anticipate their, like, who
would
honestly,
anticipate that?
who has like 10 spine crawlers at their like fourth, like when the map is already split in the middle? Like, who does that? You know.
To be honest, this is the way this is played. That's the way you actually make
Have
sure
to do
you
it.
win the game.
Yeah, sure, because so the warp prism doesn't.
But no one
mess it up.
actually goes that hard.
So now we see that
Now
Catz,
Puck is
they
pretty-
both exhausted
pretty
their
fucked.
banks, but Catz is actually
Catz
like,
has the free units.
Yeah, Catz has the
that
free
makes
units.
the situation much better for him.
Puck has almost mined that gold out, and now Catz is taking his
I think
base.
Puck is actually mined out
Of
short of
everything?
a few men. Oh no, that one's still running kind of decent.
A little bit,
but
yeah.
not enough to support like a late game Protoss army. And you can't just we saw what happens when you go gateway units. Against
Yeah,
almost
and
investor.
he's done. There's no way because he just dumped everything into gateway units. The swarm hosts are untouched.
Yeah, that was a last ditch attempt.
What's the answer to the swarm host now? It's not the gateway units.
The Zealots versus Locusts.
Wow.
And really cost efficiently.
Oh man, Puck started hating himself like right at the middle of the map.
I think
and
that
then
started
the
a long
hate,
time ago in this game.
Maybe, well, but
It
like with these
intensified there, for
stalkers,
sure.
yeah, the hatred, the self-hatred intensified as he moved through the map, constantly thinking, what the fuck am I doing with my
There can't be
stalkers
spine
here?
crawlers at this base.
There must be salvation somewhere, but there was none to be had. You've got the Viper Yanks, the High Templar were out of position, chain fungals going off. This is the final battle of this
There's
game.
not a lot of corruptors, and there's a decent amount of void rays.
And
But there's enough infestors so it'll clear it up.
Yeah, an okay number of spores. Oh, actually more than I thought. Oh, they're all down here. He needs to move up a few of these spores. Where did the other
No, he
go?
just killed it anyway.
Oh, he
there it
recalled,
is, okay.
yeah.
I thought he'd actually killed everything magically again. And it's like, well, this sounds actually better than I thought.
Only 6 void rays. One void ray being morphed in. That's probably the last void ray we're going to see built this game because there's no more gas mining.
If he just committed like all of his resources to void rays after the stalker switch,
Then
'cause he
maybe
killed
it
all
would
the
be
corruptors.
okay. Yeah,
Catz hasn't been replacing any of them. Maybe that could have worked. I don't
maybe.
know. With that many infestors and spore crawlers on the
Yeah.
map, it's a big risk one way or the other.
I mean, even if he managed to wipe this base out completely, like, look at all this he still has to tunnel through. Catz doesn't even give a fuck about mining this base. And this base is still, like, untouched in the lower left corner of the
He's been
map.
running on like 12 drones
Yeah.
the entire time.
How many drones? He's got, 31. This might be the high point of drones in the game for Catz, so.
Yeah, he has to replace more static defense, so he had to remake a bunch.
Yeah. Oh, boy.
Puck's still fighting the good fight, but
Yeah, there's not. I mean, he almost doesn't even have enough Colossus to hold the Swarmos at bay. I mean, good luck. Good luck, Puck. Puck might try to go around and maybe take out the main, but I mean.
that's what he should have done a while ago. But to be fair, Catz was being very good about mirroring the movement. He never actually let that kind of counterattack work too well.
Yep.
Catz has executed this horrendous style
Perfectly.
very, very
yeah.
well.
And this is what he does. Yeah. Remainder of the probes going down. Probes don't really matter. I'm surprised he doesn't just kill the Nexus. Probes at this point are almost irrelevant. Oh, looks like Puck is going to try to come in from behind. There are still spore crawlers everywhere, though. There is no ground unspored. Chain fungals going off. I don't even know if there is enough feedback for these infestors. Oh my god, the Yanks, the fungals, the swarm hosts,
nice
the
fungal.
GG.
That was all of the Templar.
Yep. And I would be surprised if Puck remained in this game. after this final push. Catz could almost AFK. I'm surprised he doesn't just come run into the room right now. Because
he could, and he would still win.
Yeah,
Like,
I
even
mean,
if he
Puck is
loses
going to
his
kill
man-
himself. Like, this is the part in the jungle where the enemy's trying to run through, like, the thicket of, like,
Tiger's
thorn
about
bushes.
to jump on him.
Yeah.
Oh, the Colossus are dancing.
The Colossus dance.
I've never seen a Colossus dance before.
They added new dances to Heart of the Storm. We do have the
that might be
Yanks.
why.
We do have the Neural Parasite. No
Oh.
Vortex, unfortunately. And the GG goes down.
Oh, that was a fascinating game.
Yep. Wow. I'm pretty sure we talked about everything that happened that game. I don't think there's anything left to say.
No, not really. Catz won the game.
Catz won the game.
And the series now.
That's Katz's
So
that's
Catz
Katz's
goes
style.
on and plays against Kane in the winners match now. I believe it's that kind of dual tournament format.
That's correct. The next matches will be Kane versus Catz, right? Production guy? Yep. And then after that, we will see Puck versus Huck.
That'll be fun to cast.
That'll be really interesting. And then from there, the winner of... Let's see if we can understand this. The winner of Huck
loser of the
versus
Zergs
Catz...
against the winner of the Protosses.
Yeah. So the
For the
winner
final
of Huck
match.
versus... Or the winner of Kane versus Catz will advance to the next group stage. And then the winner of Huck versus Puck will play the loser of Catz versus Kane. And then the winner of that will advance to the next group stage.
Yep.
All right, we're going to cut for a commercial break. Thanks a lot. We are the MLG GameOn Invitational. Check out GameOn.gg if you want information about the schedules. We will be casting Kane. What's the next one again?
Winners match usually.
Winners
so
match.
Kane versus Catz.
So it will be Kane versus Catz for the next set of games we'll cast. Make sure to stay tuned and make sure to tweet. Tell all your friends to watch. We'll be back after this commercial break.